Seattle, Washington. It's week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. As we'll see Drew Lock and the Seattle Seahawks taking on Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside Lumen Field here in Seattle, Washington. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. Taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
And despite the 3 touchdown passes he threw, there's a lot to work on this week, wasn't there?
Oh, ton of interception.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going really with almost a 1-to-1 ratio, that's not going to work for you well at all. Not over the long haul. The beauty, though, somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, they still got the win last week. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. The numbers for Zeke from last week: 21 carries, 104 yards.
So, partner, 2 games worth, he's leading the league in rushing, so he's now trending. Is that what they talk about nowadays? You talk about trending? That's what he's doing. He'd like to continue it here in this game.
And it's third.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
5 yards.
And Charles, we get a look there at the draft class for this offense. What do you make of it?
Well, overall, I like the balance of the guys that they selected because, to me, they got a few guys who can step in and play right away, which is exactly what you want. But they also drafted for the future as well. They got some guys who might need a year or 2 on the practice squad, so then we'll find out if they can actually play.
A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
13-yard line.
Prescott from the gun. And this one quickly to Lamb. And the Cowboys are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. Prescott and Lamb hooking up for the Cowboy first. They'll throw again. Prescott. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Blake Jarwin, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. And this is up and good to make it 7-0 Cowboys. That time a 9-play drive. And it's capped off with a Cowboys touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
On the return, the Seahawks take over 1st and 10. at their own 22-yard line.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now Locke going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. That means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Brings up second.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
4 yards the pickup. 1st down.
1st and 10.
Locke gonna throw. He's got his big tight end, Fant. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Throwing again on 2nd down. Locke. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up.
This is similar to baseball where you walk the leadoff hitter and you don't expect him to come around and score. Almost impossible. Anytime a defense has to defend a short field, you usually end up seeing the result we saw, giving up points.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 7.
Michael Dixon to kick off for Seattle.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now Elliott, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down. The gun. Here's Prescott. Got an open man, the tight end, Jarwin. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of the first.
last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense. They got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
And again, they'll go right back to their fullback. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It's a 6-yard run, leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. This is Carson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll result in a fresh set of downs. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
2nd and 2.
They run it with Carson. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Call that a very strong gain of 24. And the young buck showing that ability, that agility to dance outside of the pocket, complete the deep ball.
And don't think for a second that the coaching staff didn't have their heart rate accelerate a little bit there, right? Anytime you have those young quarterbacks and they get outside of the pocket, you're just hoping that they make good decisions because so many things can happen that can go wrong when you throw it downfield like that. He got away with it there and in a big way.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Metcalf once again the target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. To throw again. Block. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. DK Metcalf, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
Kickoff for Seattle.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Taken in the end zone. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Amari Cooper and the Cowboys set to take over once again. They've got to find a way to get him more involved in this game plan. Down here in the 2nd quarter, he doesn't even have a catch.
And don't think they're not hearing about it in the huddle and on the sidelines. And we often think of wide receivers at times being disruptive. It's just that they know their talents and they know the type of plays they can make, and they can make big ones. They want the ball to help their team.
Yeah, you got to think he's going to want the ball more. 1 target, no catches. A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Ezekiel Elliott, the Cowboys.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We've hit the 2-minute mark in the 2nd quarter, 14-7.
At the 46-yard line.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Prescott's pass complete.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Here's Carson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
First down Seattle on a pickup of 13.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protecting himself as best he could while completing the play.
They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
First and 10 at the 49-yard
Lock
line.
now to throw. He lets it fly for Lockett. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, had pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Prescott. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
A loss of 9 yards.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing, Prescott. Flush to his right, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down. Third and long for Prescott. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down.
But it brings up fourth down.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down. Final play of the half, Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll start by heading out west to Glendale, Arizona. And in the late stages of the first half, it's the Lions who are out in front. Matthew Stafford's thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we'll make the trek east to Atlanta to check on the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And they trail the visiting Chicago Bears. Allen Robinson, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting San Francisco 49ers. 24-15 was your final score. In the game you're watching, it's been Drew Lock with a strong first half. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front as we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. Fielded a couple yards into the end. Net negative there of 4 yards.
First and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And some room to work. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
Well, it certainly appears that the big guys up front have taken charge of the line of scrimmage. 2 really nice plays back-to-back. But on the defensive side of the ball, there shouldn't be any despair. Okay, they've got us a couple of times here. Hang in there, keep your composure, and try and figure it out for the next play.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd down, it's Ware, and he's got this pretty close to a first down at the Cowboys' 22. 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. He'll find Ballore out of the backfield. That catch good for only a couple.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it. He's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. And they'll go jet sweep to try to pick it up. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
24, Cowboys 7.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. This to Jarwin, and they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 11 yards there, first down.
Cowboys.
Now Prescott. And he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Zerline connects on the extra point. And the lead down to 10, 24-14. Fielded just outside the goal line. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
At at their own 34-yard line.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pimp in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
But while the guys with the ball are having a whole lot of fun keeping it on the ground, the guys on the opposite side, they are having zero fun. They've been getting pushed around the entire game and haven't found an answer yet to slow down the running game.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. And, you know, he may not have the franchise tag, but I bet they're relieved to have that deal done, keep him around.
And he's a good guy, a valuable player to them, and they wanted to make sure they had him around. Good team chemistry, always hard to find, and when you've got it, you don't want to let it get away.
Xavier Woods, the free safety, up to make the tackle. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Locke. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he's going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 24-yard line.
At the 24-yard line.
14 yards that time for number 14. Locke now on 1st down. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. Locke will try again on 2nd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Jerron Brown. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Myers connects on the PAT, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Prescott.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Prescott's pass complete.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
And he almost intercepted. Down now. Here's Locke to throw. And he's got Lockett. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era. We think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 46. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Carried by the fullback.
This is where, fourth quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
But you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you. And a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
But not a big gain with that play, but what they're doing is they're spreading the defense out, probing a little bit, and what they're hoping probably is that later in the game, they can create a matchup that they can exploit for big yardage later.
Makes the score Seahawks 34, Cowboys 14.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Taken about 7 yards deep. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal. Oh, Prescott stripped, and the Seahawks have picked it up. And he'll get this back down to about the 12-yard line.
A fumble on the play. Recovered by the...
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. John Ursua, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that stretches the lead all the way up to 27. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Taken about 7 yards deep. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
And he loses the football a 2nd time.
Prescott's pass complete. Fumbled on the play.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get...
Oh, Prescott stripped. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. He's going to let it fly. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, 76 yards. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. So it was 4th down. They go deep to try to pick up the first. They pick up more than that. They pick up a score.
I'm not even sure the analytics guys would think that was a good gamble. 4th down there going for it. But they pressed the issue. And not only did they complete the pass downfield, how about the run after catch that ends up culminating in a touchdown? That's a huge play.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
They run again with Carson. And he's taken down inside the 30. 16 yards, a 1st down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short. Draw play. This is Carson. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
It carries like that. That's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, God.
And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taken about 7 yards deep. Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people.
Oh, Prescott stripped. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Throwing on 2nd and long. Prescott. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Prescott from the gun on 3rd. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Now it's Lockett. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Seahawks, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the Cleveland Browns. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.